Hey, what's up everybody? So when I left you guys last, we were having some tire issues with our salvage tires we got from LKQ. They had knife holes in them, you guys remember? So we had to take them back. Good news, they did give us our money back on those, and they're on the car. We've already got them mounted, and we're just moving right along, putting on some finishing touches. Right now we're putting on our piece of trim here. This is how I do it. I just roll out some masking tape. I adjust it till it looks nice and straight. Get back, kind of stand back, look at it, make sure it's not crooked. I'll go off over across the room and look at it as well. Once I got it where I want it, obviously we'll stick the trim on next. So this is why we stand back and look at it. I don't know if you could tell on camera, but I am running uphill toward the back of the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back, make a final adjustment, get that right where it needs to be, and then we'll stick that molding back on there. Let's try this again. I'm gonna mark where it's at right now. That way we'll know how far to lower it. I'll say probably maybe right in there. Let's see where that gets us. Yeah, that's better. I can live with that. In case you couldn't see, I just marked where it was. This is where the old tape was with just a small little piece of tape there. That way I don't have to mark on it with a marker or anything. And then we just dropped our tape down just slightly lower than that. And we're just right, or right enough, I think. I think that's gonna work. Let's get the molding on there. Got my molding over here. So we went ahead and painted it when we painted the car. That way everything matched. Get this stuck on here, and we can move on to something else. I'm just using my weather stripping, that weather stripping adhesive that we've been using in other videos. I didn't have any double-sided sticky tape, and I'm not buying anything else. That's it. We're done spending money on this. So we're just gonna go through and use what we have. And I think we'll do just fine. No problem. So anyway, once that's on there, where's my tip? I'll throw a couple of pieces of tape on there to kind of help hold it for a little bit. And then we will go on and do something else. And this stuff sets up pretty quick, so. I'm gonna get these headlights put in, but before I go put the bumper on, I wanna do a light check, so that's what I'm doing now. Most of you guys probably know that once you put the bumper on, the only way to do anything with these headlights usually is you got to take the bumper back off, pull the headlight out before you could change any bulbs or anything. Yeah, they just don't give you enough room in behind there to do anything. So you'd have to pull the bumper off, headlights out and everything. So you definitely want to check all that as you're going back together. Save yourself a little bit of work. The last thing we want to do is have to take all that back apart because we got some little tiny bulb in here that's burned out or something. But all of our lights are working, so we're good to go. Let's get this bumper on here. I was kind of thinking maybe now would be a great time to go ahead and just buff these headlights out, give them the weird beard treatment before the bumper's in the way. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Why not? So these headlights aren't in too bad a shape. I think this is going to get it. This is just a medium cut cleaner. Number one, get this at Walmart. They come in various grades. Some are fine, some are a little coarser. This is just a medium, so it ought to work. Wool pad on a buffer, that's all we need. I think this is going to get it, y'all. So we'll just start off with just a little bit of this stuff. It doesn't take a whole lot. I like to take the buffer and just kind of smear that stuff around. That way we don't sling it all over everything. And I'll bump the throttle here. Just kind of get it going slow. That way we're not slinging this stuff everywhere. I mean, hell, already you can see what a great job that's doing. This is, see how dull it was before? It's just starting to kind of turn yellow. And then right here, man, just one quick little pass will do it. Now, if your headlights are a little bit worse than this, you know, you just get in there with some wet sandpaper, something like that, maybe some 1500, go over it with that and some water, so, you know, some soapy water, and work your way up to 2000, 2500. And then start hitting it with the buffer. And you can even go with a little more aggressive buffing compound. You could bump it up to this stuff right here. You see this is an Ultra Cut, same brand. Buy it at the same place. You can get it at Walmart or what have you. And look at that. That is an Ultra Cut, man. See how high the arrow goes? That stuff is coarse, and that'll usually get you if you're ever dealing with any of these that are super yellow. Just hit it with the sandpaper first, something kind of fine. You don't want to get too crazy. Like I said, maybe like a 1500 or something, and then start buffing it out with that stuff over there. And then you can switch off over to this stuff, maybe finish it off with that, and you'll be good to go. They got all kinds of repair kits out there for headlights that they sell at Walmart that you can just put a little drill attachment onto your drill. You don't need the buffer. You don't need all that kind of stuff. I have all of that already because we do a lot of paint and body stuff around here. So for me, it's easy just to grab up some sandpapers, some different compounds or what have you, and go at it. But you could always buy those kits. The same company that makes this Meguiar polish makes a mag wheel cleaner with a drill attachment, and that stuff works awesome on these headlights. I've seen it done. I'll take a couple more passes and we'll have this one. Now it is worth mentioning that if you're doing this with the bumper on, you might want to throw a little tape around it. You don't want to be buffing into that paint. I mean, imagine if the bumper was on here and you're in there. I mean, you will dig into your paint if you're not careful, so you'll want to kind of throw some tape around the headlight. I went ahead and threw a little protective tape on here because we're about to put our bumper on and I don't want to scratch anything. So anyway, let's get it on there now, finally. Yeah, not too bad. What I'll do is I'll get in here and start me a clip. That way we got nothing trying to fall off. There we go, that'll hold it. So obviously this is why we do the protective tape. We don't want the edge of that bumper coming up here and rubbing the edge of that fender there, right? So, and it'll do that for sure. So we'll get all this lined up. There we go. Get our bolts in it and that'll tighten up the gap. It'll look real good here in just a minute. Get this last bolt in here. Wow, this bad boy on there. Should be able to go through here and put the rest of our clips on now. Now we got the sides all fastened in. So hey, check this out, man. We saved some money on hubcaps on this one. This one had a full set of hubcaps. They were just a little rough, so I've scuffed them down with my Scotch-Brite pads, and I'm just going through. I've got some aluminum here. This is for like aluminum manifolds. So it kind of has a dull aluminum finish, and it works great on this here. All you got to do is just go through and just lightly dust it. Check it out. It kind of has a factory look to it. It's not too shiny or anything like that. And all we got to do is just dust it. We just want to build up a couple thin layers, just something to make it look a little nicer is all we're doing. We're not trying to make it all super thick or anything like that. If you'll just do these really light dustings on here like what I'm doing here, that's what you'll end up with. I mean, it looks just like a brand new hubcap. Cool part is this stuff dries in like 15 minutes. Let's see, high performance Rust-Oleum, and like I said, this is more of an engine paint, so it'll be super durable for some old hubcaps, but that's it right there. And it seems to do just fine. Something else that I always do, anytime I get one of these flip cars in and they come with hubcaps, even if the hubcaps are just junk, I always save these little guys here. Some of you guys already know exactly what I'm talking about. These little guys here actually is what holds this hubcap on. These aren't the kind that click on like you get from Walmart. The lug nuts actually have threads on the outside of them, and these screw on like so. I know most of you know this already, but some of you don't, and that's what holds your hubcap on, and these are always missing, I swear. So anytime you get a flip car in that has the style of hubcaps that have these, even if the hubcap sucks, save these. Trust me, you'll need them. Well, you know, we're getting close when we're getting into stuff like this. These little final little details. Stuff just like that there. Let's get our tape on there, help kind of hold it for now. We'll come back here in about 15 minutes and that ought to be good. Get this bad boy on there. Man, that just sets it off. You know, I'm all for the black wheels with the no hubcaps and all, but when it comes to these flip cars, I prefer to kind of put them back as close to factory as possible. And I kind of think this hubcap deal, even when they're the cheap Walmart hubcaps, they just kind of brighten it up. You know, and from a flip car standpoint, that's what you want, man. You want these cars to look kind of bright and new and all of that. And that'll get you top dollar for it. That's why we go around and buff headlights and all that stuff. I mean, hell, you get enough shiny stuff going on, next thing you know, you're getting top dollar for it. Putting the finishing touches on the trunk. Got one of these from the salvage yard. I didn't have one of these when we bought it, so let's go ahead and we'll get that clicked into place. Get this weather stripping put back on, and we'll skim over it with a vacuum cleaner. We already washed the trunk pad, so she's looking really good. These go in really simple. They just click right in like so. There you have it. We'll put the weather stripping back on, like I said. And trunk going to be just about completed here in just a minute. Look, this thing has these big giant floor mats in it, I guess more of like a truck style, and they're junk. You can see here, peeling all the way around. But look at this. Here's the other side. These things, like I mentioned, are too big. So what I've done is I've come through and I've trimmed off all the stuff that was all, you know, tore up anyway. And now not only does it fit better, but it looks like brand new. That's what it looks like after it's all cleaned up and trimmed. So I'm going to do the same thing over here to this guy. Come over here to my gigantic collection of X-Acto knives. Check it out. Thanks again, Bruce Coleman, for that. I told y'all, man, those were going to come in handy, and all this stuff you guys send me will get used. So again, you know, I'm just going to come through. It's cool because the way it's set up is I could go right along the design here and trim all of that off. So I've got a nice little line to go by. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in there and trim all of that off. This is exactly what I did on the other side, and it turned out great. So you see how sharp these things are, man. These things are going to come in very handy on these flip cars. Cutting through these things like hot butter. This is some pretty thick rubber too. So yeah, now that we got all that old ugly stuff trimmed off of there, we've got them all cleaned up over here, ready to go back in. I know what you're thinking. Some of you guys are probably like, man, Mike, you've got that car so cheap. We only paid $900 for it after all. You should spring for some freaking floor mats and some hubcaps. But the deal about it is every dollar that we save on this, we could spend in other areas that might be more important. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice in there? Look, that actually fits in there. Before it was kind of rolled up on the sides. I think it looks pretty good in there, actually. So I'm in here just taking care of some of the final little details. You guys remember this vent over here was broken out. We've got a new one in there. And while I'm at it, I wanted to replace this knob. You can see here where it's kind of, all the stuff's wore off of it. So I thought maybe we'd get that off of there and replace it with this other one here. You can see this one here's good. None of the writing is missing off of it. So we'll get that on there. This should just click right on here, I do believe. There we go. All right, awesome. You guys remember the little door lock there was broken off. I got another one of those as well. These are simple. They just unscrew right off of there. We'll put this guy on here. Okay, at this point, I think I'm pretty well done with everything. Let's get it out to the up to the car wash. We'll rinse her down, maybe spray off the engine, stuff like that. And I'm going to take all my pictures and get her posted up for sale. All right, so we made it down to the car wash. I like to hit the whole car up with a little bit of pre-soak first. Then I'll take my razor blade and I'll go through and I'll just scrape the whole windshield. Don't do this before you put the water on. Put the water on first. It makes it a lot easier. I also keep some steel wool, which is 0000. That's 4 zeros. It's very important. You can take that and you can scrub this window down with it as well, and it will not hurt your glass. This gets all the bug stuff off, everything, all the little contaminants, stickers, all that good stuff. It'll all come off with this razor blade or the steel wool, either one. I'll go through and do that to all the windows, and then we'll proceed to scrub down the rest of the car. That steel wool works very well on your windows, getting all that grime, all the road grime and the bugs and all that stuff off. Do this and then hit it with your Windex. I even hit the mirrors. Now we can hit it up with the high pressure wash. Rinse all that off. I'm even going to rinse the engine off as well here in just a minute. And we'll go ahead and hit the engine up too. People ask me all the time, how long should you wait before you wash your car after you paint it? As soon as the paint's dry, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't get all aggressive with it and hold the wand super close or anything like that, but I wouldn't wax it either. Don't wax it for about 90 days. But as far as washing it, you're good to go as soon as it dries. When we was in the body shop, we would always wash the cars right after they got put back together out of the paint shop, and they would send them home. Well, there she is, you guys. Check her out. She's looking nice. No more dented up panels. She's all one color. I'll give you guys a quick little walk around here. Got a little late on me. That's all right. We got her done though. All the tires are on it. Check out them refurbished hubcaps. I think they look just fine. We even sprayed the engine off. I'll show you that here in just a second. Check out the inside. Look at the inside. She turned out nice and clean. Turn these lights off. Oh, that dinging irritates the crap out of everybody when they're watching. Headliner nice and clean up top. These seats, man, I'm so impressed with how clean these seats turned out. Look at that center console. Remember how nasty that was? Look at that. Man, oh man, she turned out nice. Let's get a shot of the back seat for you guys. Look in there, man. Got them newly refurbished floor mats. We saved ourselves a good 25 bucks on floor mats. Look at that back seat. Remember how nasty that thing was? Oh, what about this? Oh, remember how bad that was? Look how nice she looks now. And not to worry, we did not leave the trunk out at all. Look at that trunk. Nice and clean. Even the light works inside. Just gonna show you guys the engine. Just gave it a quick little spray, and you guys remember, you know, we got all that nice and clean up top too, so I think she's looking good. We might spray a little shiny stuff down in here. I don't really like to use a lot of that stuff. I know most car lots do. They get in and just hose it down with that tire slickum stuff, and for me that doesn't work very well. Reason being is I live in the country, lots of dirt, and that dirt likes to stick to that stuff, so I don't like to overuse it. I'll use a little here and there. I don't like to use too much of that stuff though. It seems like it does me more harm than good. Just up here cruising around in the city, putting some miles on it, checking her out, getting a good feel for it. I've already put a few miles on it, running back and forth to the pick-apart yard. That's how many we put on it so far. 431 miles so far. She's doing really good. She actually gets pretty decent gas mileage even. That's what I've managed to get the miles up to so far on the gas mileage, and I've actually got it up to 28 so far, but I have to stay out of the city to do it. Yeah, just running back and forth on the highway, I can get it up to 28, no problem at all. And it'll probably go past that, I would think, over time, if I stayed on the highway. I've got a few more errands to run. Get some more miles put on it, see how she does. As a lot of you know, I live in the country, so it doesn't take a long time to rack up the miles on one of these flip cars. Hell, I've put thousands of miles on flip cars before. But it's a hell of a way to check them out, you know, make sure they're all right. So what do you guys think we should ask for this thing? I'm thinking $39.95. You guys leave me a comment. Tell me what do y'all think it would go for in your neck of the woods. I think here that's pretty decent price for it. Now remember, it's an 06 with 184,000 miles, clean title, no rebuild, none of that kind of stuff. She's solid, y'all. She runs really good and drives really good, and she's super clean now. So y'all tell me, man, what do y'all think? I think I'll ask $39.95 for it and just stick to it. Just don't even let them get me down on it. Just stick to the $39.95. I think that's a solid price for it. I think she turned out all right. You guys remember over here where the door was caved in? Well, she's not no more. I think she's worth $4,000 all day long. I mean, hell, what more you want? Everything on it works. She's good to go. So anyway, there you have it, in case you couldn't see it good enough over in that other parking lot. There she is. So hey everybody, that was a fun little series to make. I appreciate everybody following along. Got really good views on that, so we'll definitely do that again sometime. For now, we got to get back out there, try to find us another flip, get that started, see what that brings us. Who knows? You never know in the flip game. Be sure to tune in next time. By then, that G6 will be sold, and we could go over the numbers and see if it was all worth it or not. You know, we'll tell you what we got for it and exactly what we put into it, and we'll see if we made anything, see if it was all worthwhile. It was a lot of work, but like I said, it is fun. It's fun taking an old car that's really dirty, banged up, turn it back around, kind of give it a new lease on life, so to speak. I don't know. But anyway, it'll make somebody a good little car, and that's the most important part. So it's going to be out of here by the next video, and we'll get something else in here. Maybe we'll mess around with the old Saturn. I don't know. For anybody new to the channel, we got lots of side projects. We got this. We got an old 70 GMC. I got an old Fury out in the yard. Datsun pickup, lots of stuff. So stay tuned. We'll work on those as well. And hey man, you guys, I've been making some more videos with my daughter over there on her channel. Me, myself, and Darlene, we're doing a father-daughter project on her Nissan hardbody pickup. We're kind of building a little mini truck over there. If you guys aren't subscribed to her channel, you're missing out, man. You need to get over there. Me, myself, and Darlene, I'll put one of those little cards up at the top. If you're watching this on a mobile device, all you gotta do is click that. It'll take you straight on over there. You never know what that old truck's gonna throw at you, and we just roll with the punches, man. We just take it as it comes, and the truck's taking shape. It's doing real good. As for me, I am out of here. Hit me up on Instagram. There'll be a link in the description. Facebook, Weird Beard on Facebook. Hit me up, man. I'll answer your friend request. A lot of times you could check out the Facebook, the Instagram, and get a heads up when I put a video out, just in case YouTube's being weird and not sending out the notifications or what have you. That'll be a good way you can find out when I put a video out. So anyway, I'm on out of here, man. I will see you guys later.